this. I said I was gonna read this. I said I was gonna read this. I did. Hi dreamers and make-believers. In today's video, I'm doing my July wrap-up. Now, you are going to notice if you saw my July TBR that my July wrap-up is considerably different to my July TBR. So, in my July TBR, I was supposed to read Legend, which is this series by Marie Lu, and it was my first in the series, so I thought I'd give it a try. And then I was going to read the last one of the Mortal Instruments series, The City of Heavenly Fire, which I am so excited to read. And I was also supposed to read 10,000 Skies Above You, or something like that, which is the second to a series that I started last month. However, I started this month with Legend, and it hooked me, like, and then I tried to resist and tried to stick to my TBR, but I was so desperate to find out what happened in the Legend series that I went on to Prodigy, which is the next one in the series. And then again I tried to resist, and I actually even started reading 10,000 Skies Above You, but I just couldn't help wondering what was happening to the characters of the Legend series. So I ended up reading Champion, which is the third and final book in the trilogy. So I have read my 3 books this month, which is great, although I'm still trying to get it to 4 books a month. However, I read completely different books to what I said I was going to read. Although I did read Legend, but yeah, after that it all changed. Everything just changed. Everything has changed. So I'm going to do a quick review of each book in the Legend series, and then I'm also going to do an overall series review. So you can probably guess that I enjoyed it because I couldn't put it down, basically. Like, it's literally got that kind of energy and that kind of anticipation on each page. You just want to know what happens on the next page. So it's definitely a captivating read, and you definitely want to know what happens next. So let me start with book 1, which is Legend. So this was on my TBR. This was my plan to dive into a new series and see what it was like, and if I liked it, I would continue it the following month. But of course I liked it too much and continued it in that month. So basically, Legend follows Day, a guy that lives on the streets, and June, a girl that like has the high life and has everything handed to her, and like the government's prodigy, like she's so smart and everyone loves her, sort of thing. So they're like from 2 different tracks of life, and it follows them through their different lives until one day where they inevitably meet. And it's this one thing that happens throughout this book that leads to them meeting and leads to what happens next in their lives, and leads to this unlikely partnership. And you start to really fall in love with the characters, and you start to really care about them, both of them, even though they're both so different, and sometimes their partnership doesn't work or doesn't seem like it's going to work, but you still care about each of them and their individual goals, even if their goals are conflicting. So I don't know if I'm explaining this right because I don't want to give spoilers, but yeah, so basically they're just a very unlikely partnership, and they're both great. So I gave Legend a 5 stars. It was captivating, it was gripping, and it was so unexpected and full of twists and turns that you don't see happening, and tragedy and romance and excitement, and just really, really fun. And then, as you know, I dove straight into the second book in the series, which was Prodigy. Now this one is where things start to kind of turn on their head, and you don't know what to think, and you don't know who to trust, and you don't know who's good and who's bad, and you really just are on the edge of your seat just wondering what's going to happen. I gave Prodigy as well a 5 stars. It was very gripping, very fun, very fast-paced, very captivating, and things are just falling apart, but in a dramatically fantastic way that you're just like, okay, heroes can put it back together, I'm sure they're gonna put it back together, and you just cannot keep track, and you just don't know where you stand. And then you relate to how the characters must be feeling because they don't have a clue where they stand, and they don't have a clue who to trust, and you are exactly in their shoes, and you don't know what to expect, and it delivers with the unexpectedness. And then finally I read the last in the trilogy, which was Champion. Now Champion, the story kind of starts to take shape, and it also takes a turn that you don't expect, and more things happen, and it draws to this dramatic end and this dramatic conclusion that, you know, is full of highs and lows, and you're just And I gave Champion a 4 star. It's still pretty awesome, it's still very fast paced, and the end of the series is so fantastically written. It's heartbreaking, yet hopeful, yet So as I said, I gave it a 5, and a 4, maybe a 4.5 actually, and as a whole I give the entire series a 5 stars, and I highly recommend it if you have not read it yet. And that is all for today, a short and sweet review of the books that I read in July, and until next time, I'll see you, bye!